And we're live. Okay, hey, what's up, Limitless Army? This is Melissa. Today I have Cindy Lau with me, and we're just going to chat it up a little bit so you guys can meet Cindy, who is a leader in Lead World Legacy. She also has her very own team that she's going to talk about. And I think you guys are going to like Cindy's approach to this business. So actually, Cindy and I met at my very first Super Saturday. We're part of the same team, and our upline, brought us together. And Cindy is probably somebody I speak to every single day. One of my closest friends in this business, my roommate in Cancun. And we were kind of dating in Cancun, just so you guys know. Cindy's married with two kids. I'm married too, but we were sort of dating while we were there. So hey, Cindy.
Hi. Well, that was a nice introduction. I've never been introduced like that before. I don't think I've ever been introduced before. So that was really nice. Thank you.
Cool. Well, you're welcome. So let's start off with the basics. When did you sign up as a coach and why?
Okay. So, I started off as a challenger. And some of you on here maybe started off as a coach. But for the most part, I think you probably started off as challengers. So that's where I'm going to start. I signed up because my coach, Audrey Robles, Diaz Robles, I don't know, Audrey, she was posting on social media, and I saw how amazing she looked, and I was like, she's my cousin, and I'm like, what the heck did you do? Like, I need to do that because I just had my baby and I'm fat. And she was like, oh my God, you need to do this. Like, let's do this. So I don't even remember. It happened so fast. I don't even remember asking questions. Like, I don't even remember asking price or anything. I guess it was because I trusted Audrey. She's my cousin. I was just like, all right, it works. Let's do this. Now I'm thinking, where are all those customers like that? Because I would like some. So that was back in December of 2012. So I was 4 months post having my baby, my second child. And I was overweight, just feeling like sluggish and tired and unsexy and just, ugh, like if I took a picture back then, that would be the caption. I started in December, and my first program was Shailene Extreme. I loved it. With Shailene, I lost 25 pounds. I did 2 rounds of it. I lost 25 pounds, and I just continued from there. And I guess I was a pretty badass challenger because Audrey kept asking me, like, you need to be, she's like, did you ever think about becoming a coach? Like, you should do this, because I was no joke. Like, I was, I look at my challengers now and I have some flaky challengers. I was not flaky. Like, I was on a mission. I had my goals. Like, I was going to do this. So I was posting all the time. And she was like, you're motivating the group. You're so great. Like, you should become a coach. And I'm like, I'm not there yet. Like, I can't coach anyone. Like, how am I going to coach? But meanwhile, in real life, people kept asking me, like, what are you doing? You look amazing. You're losing weight. Like, what are you doing? And I was sharing with them what I was doing, but I wasn't getting any credit for that. I was actually sending them to Audrey because Audrey was my coach, and I wasn't ready to be a coach yet. So I had my baby, went back to work. I'm doing my challenge group. All of a sudden, I was let go from my job, which at the moment sucked. I worked in the fashion industry for a designer, and business was getting really tough, and I had been there forever. So I was let go. It was like the end of the world. But in reality, it kind of like was a new beginning for me. And Audrey kept still asking me, you need to become a coach. You need to become a coach. So on August 28th, which is like 8 months after me signing up in the first place, that's my son's birthday too. I had Audrey over. We were having my son's birthday party, and she's like, you need to become a coach. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do it tonight because my unemployment's going to run out. I need a discount. And you know what? Maybe I can make some money because I need to make money. So yeah, my start date was August 28th. And I just realized when I wrote this down, I'm like, holy crap, I'm gonna have 2 years now in August. Like,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Yeah, and my current rank is a Star Diamond coach. I should be further along in my business, but as you know, this business is sometimes you sit at certain ranks, and that's okay. Like, I have goals right now, and my goal is not rank driven. I'm building my team. So
you said one thing about not being ready yet. You said ready. What did that mean to you, that you thought you weren't ready?
I thought that in order to be a Beachbody coach, I had to have a beach body. Like, I had to have like abs, and like I had to like look amazing and perfect in a bikini at all times, because I'm like, how can I give other people advice when I'm not where I need to be yet, or if I'm not 100% happy with the way my body looks yet. And still to this day, I'm not exactly where I want to be, but if I look back at where I was, I've come a really freaking long way. And the changes are not only physical, but they're on the inside too. And, like, it's just because, when you have self-esteem, like, that goes a long way. Like, it totally changes you inside and out. So, yeah, that was what was holding me back, was I'm not ready. But meanwhile, everybody was asking me, and I was giving away tips like a coach.
Right. Well, I think everybody, as those really rock star challengers, ends up being coaches before they're coaches.
Yep.
Right. So you mentioned that you're a 1-star diamond, and you have goals. What are your end of year goals?
Well, when I say that, I'm a 1-star, but I have goals. Like, when I first started, I was like, oh my God, I need to rank advanced. I need to like jump past emerald, skip past ruby, and make it to diamond, and then just be banging out all these stars all the time. But, like, when you do it so quickly like that, like, your organization is not strong enough, and it just starts to crumble, So my goal right now, I say, is not rank driven, because it's not. Like, I just want to have a really strong team. I want to have a really strong team of leaders. So I need to keep bettering myself, and therefore it'll trickle down to my coaches, and then it'll trickle to their coaches, and we'll be a strong team. Because this really isn't only about me, it's about my coaches too. So their successes are my successes.
Right. But what do you think that your experience from going through emerald, skipping ruby, becoming diamond, 1-star, and everything you've gone through has now helped you with building your team and guiding them to what they need to do?
Yeah, I mean, my team knows. Like, honestly, I'm going to be real. When I was like, oh, I'm going to hit diamond, I literally thought that the skies were going to part, and like money was going to start like coming down. And, that's not the way it goes, especially if you build it so quickly, because anyone could become diamond. Like, you could literally do that like in a day. If you know the right amount of people, place them in your organization the right way, you can do it. But it's not about that. It's about building a strong team, a strong foundation that can grow. So that's where I'm at right now. I still have a lot of my coaches that started with me since day one. I still have them, and we're trying to like build together. So taking a little longer than I would like, but we're getting there.
Yeah, I think, but that's one of the things about Beachbody that I think everybody's very honest about, is that you have to work, that it's not this crazy scheme that everyone can get to diamond and all of a sudden there's magic money that pops out. Because if so, I think everybody would be a Beachbody coach.
Yeah.
But the truth is that this is a career, it's a job, and just like every other job, you have to work towards the goals that you have?
It's just sometimes it may seem to people that it's not really a job because you're not leaving you don't have to leave your house. You can do it from your bed, you know? You can do it while you're in the bathroom. Like, you could do it anywhere you want. You can do it at the park.
Right.
When you're with your kids, or in the car when you're dropping your kid off at an activity. You know what I mean? Like, this is something that could be done anywhere. And because it's not a traditional, like, desk job or a traditional 9 to 5, it seems like it's a scheme. But it's not. And there's so many success stories. There's endless possibilities, but you have to work for it.
Yep. So what personal development are you doing?
Well, right now, I just finished You Are a Badass, and there's that title by Jen Sincero. That was awesome. That was an awesome book. If you have not read it, you should totally read that book. And I'm starting to see that there's a trend as far as like the books that I like, because now I'm reading Girl Boss by Sophia Amoroso, and I love that. I mean, I don't know if it's because it's like has a lot to do with fashion, but I just love that book. And so those are like the kind of, I don't know if it's like girl power kind of books that I like. Yeah. Power, like girly, feminine. I don't know. That's what I'm reading right now, along with like podcasts that I listen to daily. It just depends on if I'm actually sitting down at my desk, then I'm reading a book. But if I'm like washing dishes, doing clothes, or driving my school bus, aka minivan, around town, I'm listening to an audio in the car.
What audios are you listening to? Whenever
I'm feeling kind of like, I listen to Joel Osteen. Love that guy. Love. Like, that's like food for your soul. Like, amazing. I listen to him for like whenever I just feel like crap or I need to pick me up. I also listen to the Shailene Show. I love Shailene Johnson. As I mentioned, I did Shailene Extreme, so she's the trainer, the creator of that program, along with other programs, and now she's a really smart businesswoman. So she gives awesome tips on her podcast, like not only about fitness and stuff like that, but about social media and just being an entrepreneur. So that podcast, and also a book that I listened to the audio format of was the Compound Effect by Darren Hardy. That's another one that I would recommend.
That's awesome. So you mentioned Girl Boss and your love for fashion. And I don't think that, you mentioned that you did have a job in the fashion industry. I know that most of my coaches have no idea about your love for fashion. I do. What I know about Cindy is that she's super duper creative, and she always is very trendy, as you can see in her outfit she has on. But also she has created a completely different business aside from Beachbody Coaching. And I want her to talk a little bit about it, because I think that it just opens up the doors of possibility for anyone who's a coach. So can you talk to us about that?
Well, yes. Like I mentioned, I did work in the fashion industry, but it's funny because I worked in the sales department. So I was selling clothing. I wasn't actually doing anything in design or anything, but I loved like merchandising. And for those of you who maybe don't know that, it's just like putting a story together. Like, I would love telling a story with like, every season you have like color stories and pattern trends. Like, I love putting a package together that's like visually appealing. Like, that stuff I love to do. And that's really important when you're in sales and you're trying to sell clothing, to make it look visually appealing. So when I transitioned into Beachbody, I was like, oh my God, I could totally do this. Like, it's sales. I've been doing sales forever. But it's a totally different ball game. So I was doing Beachbody, and a lot of people know me on Instagram as My Fit Closet, where I started featuring like my daily outfit of the day, my workout gear. Like literally people would see me and they're like, oh my God, you're Cindy, you're my fit class. They don't even call me Cindy. Like, oh my God, you're my fit class. And I'm like, yeah. So I started to realize, I'm like, oh wait, people are actually following me for this, like for the whole fashion side of my fitness. And then it started to get a little expensive because I was like, man, I had to invest in workout gear because people were watching what I'm wearing like all the time. So I'm like, crap. Then it was like a light bulb went off and I'm like, why don't I just make some tank tops? And of course, my husband thought it was crazy because he thinks I'm always crazy because I always get ideas and I'm like, why don't I do this? And he's like, oh, okay, so this is your flavor of the month. You know what I mean? Like, why don't I do this? So I started to, I was like, I'm going to do it. I'm going to try it. And yeah, I started making my own line of workout tanks. And I make them here in my sweatshop. No. I come up with the designs and I make them. And it's just crazy because, you know, like it kind of like blends everything all together. Like Beachbody is my health and fitness. And then I have my fashion side with my tank tops, but it still works because, you know, like I'm wearing them to work out. So it's like all related. And if you would have asked me 3 years ago, if I would be working from home, I would say no, because that I didn't even have that in my mind. I didn't even think that would be possible, to be totally honest with you. And then if you would ask me, do you think you'd be designing like clothing? I'd be like, no, I could sell it. But here I am, like, you know, I'm expressing myself through pieces of clothing. And it's really good to see that people actually like them. Like, honestly, that's the best feeling. Like, not only do I get to help people along their journey, but I get to help them look good while they're doing it.
Yeah, and I think that, I remember when you started featuring your clothes and we were talking about branding and you were just kind of like, I don't know, I'm just going to do it, see where it goes. You had my fit closet and you just started doing. Like, you literally were like, I'm just going to start doing this, posting my pictures of my clothes. The pictures got clearer, they got nicer, the designs got better, and your video skills got better, etc. And it was just that first step that you took to be like, what the hell, I'm going to put, maybe somebody else likes what I'm wearing. I think that's like something that's really important because new coaches are always afraid of taking a wrong step. And I just feel like I've messed up so many times. I've taken the wrong step so many times, and sometimes it sticks, sometimes it doesn't. And this is one of those times that it's stuck and it's led to many more opportunities.
Mm-hmm. For sure. Like, we all mess up, but that's okay because you could just go back and delete it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, like I go back and I look at like the pictures I used to post and I'm like, okay, they're okay, but like it's definitely evolved into something that I am really proud of. But with that being said, you have to start from somewhere. It's not just going to happen. You're not just going to wake up and be a rock star. I mean, you could be your own rock star. You could think you're a rock star, but in order for other people to notice, you have to put yourself out there, and you know, it takes time.
Definitely. So what do you think is the most important activity that you do daily in your business?
I was trying to think of an answer to this because I'm like, I mean, it's really important to be product of the product. You know what I mean? And that means like getting your workouts done. Because that speaks like volumes with people. You can't not work out or not drink Shakeology and then tell people, oh, you have to drink Shakeology, you have to work out, you have to eat clean. So that to me is like a big thing. Your body is your billboard. And I'm not saying that you have to be like, you know, oh, I can't eat bread. Oh, I can't do this. Like, you know, this is a lifestyle. It's not a diet. You have to find a balance. And it's okay. Like, we're human. It's okay to have your down days. But you just have to bust your butt the next day to make up for it.
Right.
That is one thing that was like, okay, that's really important. And another thing is consistency. And I know you hear that a lot from a lot of people, is that's key. And it really is, because I've noticed it. There are like, days where I'm like, my Instagram is on point. Like, I'm posting, my pictures are like awesome. And then my life will get a little crazy. And then the next 2 days, I'm not posting as much. And I feel like then, like, my following, like, people are not, liking my pictures as much, or they're not commenting. But then it starts to get back up, and I start putting it on there. Like, I start posting again. And then it's like, it's just like, if you're not being consistent and you're not posting and you're not sharing, like, people are just gonna, like, they're gonna be like, okay, why am I following this person? Like,
Right.
so you have to be consistent. And that doesn't mean that you have to post a certain amount of pictures a day, like 3 pictures a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Like, no, like, but post things of value and make sure you're being consistent, so people see that it's a real person. You're a real person. Yeah, those are the 2 things that I think are most important.
So you had a quote that you wanted to share.
Yes, because Melissa had said that she wanted to say how I'm doing my tank tops and how it kind of relates, and then I was like, oh my God, light bulb. This morning I was reading Girl Boss, and I came across this quote, and I actually screenshotted it. Is that a word? Screenshotted it?
It is now.
I took a screenshot. It says, one of the best things about life, a reason not to go blindly after one goal and one goal only, is that sometimes it will take you to something that is way cooler than anything you would have consciously set out to do in the first place.
That's awesome.
It's true. It's so true, because, like, my goal in the beginning was to lose weight and to get fit. I didn't know I was going to become a Beachbody coach, and I really didn't know that this was going to be like my thing. Like, I am a Beachbody coach. I am a stay-at-home mom. This is like, when I tell you night and day of what my life was before I signed up, like, I worked a 9 to 5. I was pretty much a slave. And I only saw my kids right before it was bedtime or on the weekends. And now I'm with them all the time. And then on top of that, I get to be creative, and, like, I'm constantly creating, visual graphics and stuff like that, which is something that I taught myself to do. Like, I'm over here using Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign. I taught myself how to do that. That's stuff that I love to do. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah, and your kids work your business with you.
Yeah. Yeah, my kids are like, I have the next, I don't know, Marco is like, my son Marco is crazy. He's awesome. And my daughter, I swear, she's going to be like the trainer or something. She loves yoga. Anything yoga, that's her thing.
That is awesome. So that's it for my questions. It's we're like almost 30 minutes in. Is there anything you would like to share with some of the coaches on my team that I didn't ask? Anything else that you'd like to mention?
Well, actually, I just thought of this now. I've been talking to a lot of my personally sponsored coaches who are having issues with sharing about their journey, just sharing, because this business is not about selling. That's where people get kind of like tripped up. It's not about selling, because we can all sell these products. Like, we all have the same merchandise that we have, that we sell. Customers are not buying products from us. They're buying us, right? So we have to get used to sharing our stories, sharing our journeys and stuff like that. And this has been coming up a lot lately, is my actual coaches are afraid to share, because they're afraid of looking weird or crazy, or having people like post negative comments and stuff. And basically, I just want to just say, like, you can't please everyone. You know what I mean? Like, you just need to stay true to you and do and say and just be yourself. Do what you feel is right. Share your story, because you don't know who you can touch. It might not be for everyone, and that's okay. If you lose some followers or some friends, then that's fine. But you probably won't lose them forever, because they'll be back, because they'll be watching. Because the biggest haters are sometimes our biggest, like, supporters. Like, they're in the background watching. So, you know, don't sit here and say, I can't post that because what if this person's looking at it or they see it? Doesn't matter. You know, don't think about what other people are going to think. Just share, because you don't know who you can touch and who's watching.
Right. That's very, very important. I think everybody struggles with that in the beginning, though, because you use Facebook maybe to just like watch other people, or maybe you use the internet, you know, to post funny stuff, or maybe you didn't post anything at all, or you just posted like Monday every single Monday, and then we're asking you to like post about your life and post about being excited and post about positivity or whatever it might be. And I guess I can see it. I mean, it's kind of hard because it's almost 2 years for me too. So it's kind of hard to think, what was my life like 2 years ago?
That's what, in the beginning, it's hard.
It was hard though. I didn't even have a Facebook.
You kind of just need a little push. Like, you know, like, so we're here to tell you that it's okay. Like, you're going to be okay. It's scary, yes, to share. I mean, some people find it really hard to go into a place where they don't know anyone and be like, hey, I'm Cindy. You know, like, some people are more open than others, but just share. Like, you just need a little push. I swear, once you open that door and you start sharing, then you're going to be like loving it. Like, I have coaches that are like, oh my God, I don't want to share, I'm scared. And then they share, and then all of a sudden it's like they're sharing everything. Like, you know, it's contagious.
Yeah. One of the things that Shanti said in our size program, he came in one day and he was talking about, you know, your presence. And I think he talks about this in Define Your Life, but he talks about how wherever he goes, he walks in like everybody knows him. Even though, you know, we know him, he's famous to us, but for like a regular person, like in some restaurant, there may be like two people who'd be like, I think I know that guy from something.
He looks familiar.
Yeah, but for the most part, he just, you know, he walks in like people know him, and he's like, he says, I don't do that because I'm cocky. He says, I do that because he naturally has a tendency, which is crazy because we don't know him like that, but he naturally has a tendency to be quiet, to be that person in the background. So he knows he has to walk in and be like, what's up? Hey, everybody. Hi. How's it going? And if he doesn't do that, because when he does that, people reciprocate and they say hi back and they talk to him. Where if he just stands behind his husband and just kind of walks in and like, hey, he's going to be uncomfortable the whole night because he's supposed to be himself, but he can't be himself because he's fighting it. So he goes out of his comfort zone to just be like, what's up? It's me. I'm Shanti. Blah, blah, blah. And then he can like get over it. And that's it. He can just talk to people.
I feel like I kind of do the same thing. I'm shy a little bit, but I think I make myself come out for the same reason. Because it's an icebreaker, you know. Otherwise, you're going to be like, you know, I don't know.
And that's the same thing on social media. If you don't say anything at all, no one will ever check you out on any of your accounts. But if you just speak up and post and share, then people will come back, and some will like it, some won't like it, but those who like it will keep following.
Yeah. And it's awesome to see the people who do like, and then they're sharing your stuff or tagging other people. That means that, you know, what you're posting is actually good and people are finding value in it and they want to share it. Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. All right. So I don't want to keep you because you have a family. I can talk to you forever. So everybody, next week we have Darlene on the call. Darlene is also a 1-star at League Well Legacy, and she is like super laser focused. So I can't wait to talk to her and give you guys that information. Until next time, peace out.
Bye.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.